So yeah, we just kind of it's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a long day for me, Ichabod. How are you, man? How are you doing today so far?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. It's been a lazy Saturday for me, or Sunday, I guess.
Oh, lucky
Now,
you. Lucky freaking you. I've been digging holes for the last 5 hours, so I'm pretty tired, man. I'm not gonna lie. But we're gonna
doesn't
make it
sound
through it.
fun.
We're gonna
What are we,
persevere.
what are we burying bodies?
I'm not going to comment on that. That is not something I'm at liberty to discuss right now. But what a man
Oh,
does in his own backyard with a shovel and some lime and other things, it's kind of up to him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
sounds good. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You're all about Texas and private property and such. So anyways, all right, let's get this started off. Welcome to Chatterday. My name is Dave_Loudon, and you are listening to episode number 16, my God, 16, of my podcast, where each week I introduce you to a new and awesome small streamer. We talk about their channel, who they are as a person, and if we have time, some different game news for the past week. If you are watching this live on twitch.tv/Dave_Loudon, stick around after the interview to watch us play a little bit of gaming action. I'm assuming if we do play some games, it's going to be DVD. Our guest today is truly one of a kind. A guy I've been trying to get on here a while. As just like last week, it's like this last couple weeks I've been able to like get the people on I've been trying to get on for a while. So, anyways, no further ado, Ikiban3000. What is up, my guy?
Yo, yo, yo. What's going on?
Not much, man.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad I could get you on. Once again this week, I've had my guest who was supposed to be on drop, and I had to scramble last minute to try to fill the slot, and we did it. We're not doing Chatterday at our normal time, but this is Chatterday as I know it now, I guess. I guess we just do Chatterday whenever. Dude, what's up, Laceriat? How you doing? Hello, Juno. What's up, Donkey? So anyways, yes, we got Ichabod on. Why don't you just start this off by, like, you telling us a little bit about yourself, Ichabod, and, like, I guess your channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a father, husband, and a graduate student here in Texas. I started streaming about a year ago now. It'll actually be my 1 year anniversary next
Oh,
weekend.
hell yeah. Congratulations.
Started streaming kind of on the behest of a friend. He's pushing me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You've had him on the show before, Mediocre CEO,
Mediocre.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
one of the things that I've been doing, I'm getting my social work master to become a therapist. And while I was doing a internship at a private hospital, I noticed that because of COVID, a lot of the therapy was moving to telehealth.
Oh,
And
interesting.
when homie was telling me to start streaming, I kind of put two and two together. Don't get me wrong, I love
Yeah.
playing video games, I love meeting people, but I also kind of used it as an excuse to, tie sort of my professional and
Yeah.
school into it and just see. It's different, man. Like being able to communicate with somebody over a sort of one-sided media like Twitch is. You have them typing and you're talking, and
Yeah.
you have the delays, you have all sorts of things that you're dealing with, audio
Absolutely.
issues, video issues. And so to really come across like genuine and honest with people is kind of the name of the game for Twitch. And I think it's the same thing when we're talking about therapy.
Yeah.
And then especially when you're talking about doing telehealth. So in a lot of ways, I thought like this would be something that would kind of give me a edge
Okay.
once I finally do graduate and
Okay.
start getting in there. I can say, for whatever it's worth, they may not even know what they may not even know what it means, but then
No.
that gives me the opportunity to explain them, right? Like, hey, this is what it means that I've been streaming for a year.
Yeah.
This is what it means that I've been able to communicate on this
And
medium for so long.
and that you're comfortable being in front of a camera like that. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
whole deal behind it. It's like building that
And then
connection, even though you've got the barrier of like the screen in front of you. You know what I mean?
Sure. And again, at the end of the day, right, it's all about like kind of putting all the things that you're passionate about together, right? Like, I'm going into therapy because I have a passion for helping people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing video games since Atari, since Nintendo, right? So like, it's not like this is new to me, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not like all of a sudden, well, what's this fad called Twitch and video games, right?
What
Like,
are these things?
I've been doing this forever. So now it's just my opportunity to like merge my two worlds together just slightly.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
And then the elephant in the room, of course, is COVID, right? Like, I mean, it put us inside of our homes.
Yep. Yep.
And when it comes for somebody like me, I have I used to be a partier, a big partier. I quit drinking maybe 5 years ago, but once I started kind of understanding how to deal with my sobriety, I started going back out again, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm a social butterfly. Like I
Yeah.
like going out to concerts. I like going out to little shows or like meeting new people,
Hmm.
figuring out what things are going about. Before I was in therapy, I was in politics. I was in community organizing. I'm all about like meeting people. So
Yeah.
Twitch and streaming just allowed me another avenue for that too, right? To like meet people like you. I would have never
Yeah.
met you if it
No,
weren't for
there's no
streaming.
way. No way.
There's several people that I wouldn't have met without streaming, and now with or without Twitch, I would continue this relationships, whether they're continue to build them into
Hmm.
greater relationships, or shit, if we just continue to have like now I got another DVD
Yeah.
buddy, right? Like now
Exactly.
I got another Twitch buddy,
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? Like
Yeah.
we all have our acquaintances and our friends for reasons, and so again, man, like Twitch and streaming is just kind of given me several different ways to grow myself.
That's cool. That's really cool, man. What would you say your channel's all about, as far as that's concerned? Like, how, like, what would you say is like the main highlight of your channel? You know what I mean?
Oh man, just being laid back and coming in and just
Hmm.
chilling. I joke with people. My main day that I stream now because of school and such is Friday nights. I
Okay.
dub it Frustration Fridays because I mainly play with the homies, right?
Yeah. Right.
Uh, I'm open for viewers to jump in and play with me and stuff because look, I'm not a comp gamer, right?
Yeah.
These and I
Yeah.
play
You're not
and I
like a.
played dude, and I played COD and
Yeah.
2K and DBD, some of like the sweatiest games ever,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So so it's like for me, it's all about being laid back and having fun and kind of taking that edge off of these games,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody loves getting dubs, everybody loves escaping,
Hmm.
but at the end of the day, man, like if you spend so much stress and anxiety on these games, then why are we playing them?
Well, and I feel like you can pull yourself in a real negative path with some of the, or real like negative place with some of these competition games that you're talking about. Like, it's just if you're not chilling, laid back, and you're not having fun, and the people around you kind of realize that you're not having fun, or in your stream at the time realize you're not having fun, then man, it's just kind of like, what am I even doing? Why would anybody watch this anyways? At the end of the day, you
Well,
know what I mean?
sure. But in the second that you get negative about it, man, you just invite that toxicity in, man. Again, like we're talking three communities that can get ravenous real quick
Oh,
if you
dude,
if you
yeah.
let them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just not that kind of guy. Again, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I curse like a sailor. I talk my own shit. I
There's
like
nothing
having
wrong with
fun.
that.
But
Nothing
but
wrong with
but there's
that.
this idea of like taking it beyond and becoming toxic, and then you're actively like trying to like seek out people just to like hate on them or just to like.
I think though lately there's been a big backlash against that. I know a lot of the big three, the Sonys, the Xboxes, and the Steam, whatnot. They're all even what did I hear? I just read an article recently about Epic Games. They're all now basically tracking your voice and tracking your chat, whatever you're doing, and trying to root out some of that toxicity. So that when someone does complain, they're actually actively banning people for being that way. You know what I mean?
Well, shit, I got hit up for a whatever like breach of
Yeah.
Sony policy or whatever, and it came from DVD, right?
Yep.
Like,
Did you? What did you
and,
do? What did you
oh,
do?
okay. Look, I'll tell the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, um, I think I was playing with Mediocre, and like Mediocre was down. Homie
Hmm.
could have gone and saved Mediocre. And he just like he was out for himself, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when the escape chance came for me to go, guess who went?
Yeah.
I took off, right?
Yeah. Just get out of
And
there.
this fool couldn't deal with it and sent me like a paragraph long message on like why I should play DBD a certain way and why all this sort
Oh
of stuff.
God! Step out
So
of
I
your
wound up calling
soapbox,
it.
man.
So I wound up saying like I was sarcastic or something. Like his life saved me. I escaped, and he can either think of himself as a hero or he can think of himself as a bitch.
Yeah. Whatever
And
though.
so he complained to me that I called him a bitch.
Oh God.
So don't get me wrong. It's kind of checked me on the way that I respond to people, right? Like, and I've never actively gone after people, but if they send me a message, I'm quick to curse their ass back or get heavy with them.
Yeah, I don't,
But
and I
but
don't see
but it's
anything
changed.
too wrong with that. But you've got to like really be careful now with how you do it. You know what I mean? You can't
Sure,
just call him a bitch or
sure.
something like that.
Oh yeah, right. So yeah, so now right now even now I respond differently, right? And
Yeah.
so you got to get a little bit more creative. And don't get me wrong, for me, I find it fun, right?
Yeah.
Because I can
Oh
get
yeah.
sarcastic with it, I can get witty with it.
Yeah.
But now the game is to like now to
Ha-
like antagonize them to say something bad to me so that I can
so
report
you
their
can
ass
like
up. Because
that.
like
It's like how passive aggressive can I be without stepping over that line?
correct,
Is the
correct, correct.
that's the name of
And
the
so
game
again,
now,
it's
dude.
kind of
Yeah.
like it's kind of like the dudes that like mess with the scammers or whatever, right? Like, so you try to find the toxic people and you try to goat
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
So then
Exactly.
you can report them.
No,
But
I
yeah, at
have
the end
I
of
have
the day,
had that
right?
happen. I just know it's coming too. You all of a sudden you're playing the match, gets over, and all of a sudden you hear that bing, and it's like a new
Yeah,
chat's been opened, and you're like, all right,
yeah,
here we go, here we
right.
go.
So, but again, so like if we want to go back to the original question, my channel is all about avoiding that shit, man. Like,
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
a place to come in, meet new people, have fun, and just chill.
Yeah, yeah, dude,
You
I
know?
totally get that, and like, and that's what most channels should be. They should just be a place to like be open and like just meet new people, and I don't know. It's pretty cool, man. So what else do you what let me go down my list of questions, man. I'm literally struggling today. I'm so fucking tired. So
It's all
bad. I'm
right.
like my
At least
brain
somebody
is
put
just
you to work
like
today.
I'm just gonna misfire every single direction. We're gonna have to keep it to script today because I'm just not. We are not firing on all cylinders by any means. I can't even say the
I'm,
metaphor firing on all cylinders. I'm so tired right now. So,
I've been fortunate most these past weekends. I had surgery not too long ago, so my
oh
wife's not
jeez,
forcing me
manual
to do
labor.
money. Yeah, she doesn't
Oh,
force me to do too much these weekends, but
I had to
I think
buy.
my time is slowly.
She's figuring it out.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I
yeah.
gotta start working soon. I had to buy 23 cypress trees today, and I'm just starting to dig holes, and it's not a fun thing at all.
But
Uh,
you're repopulating the earth with trees. Look
yeah,
at you.
yes, I am. I'm planting trees. I'm planting bushes. I'm going for it, but I'm just really like it's just my back is sore because I've had to use a post hole digger, to
Oh
get down
yeah.
in there. So it's just like my back's sore. I'm just a mess. I'm kind of a mess right now. I'm a lot like Frog was just saying that he rode his bike for 6 miles. I'll tell you what, I feel like I've ridden my bike for 25 miles, 30, 40 miles. You know what I mean? Like it's just not firing. So what we're gonna do to combat all of this, me being tired, is I'm just gonna stick to the script, right? Because that's how that works. Yeah, baby trees.
There you go.
Yeah, they're baby trees. They are little guys. They're maybe like 2 feet tall. They're just little cypress trees. They're gonna grow up in about 5 years, and we'll actually have some privacy in our backyard. It's kind of the whole deal. They grow up pretty nice and tall. So, anyways, Ichabod, back to you. What do you think makes your channel like actually unique and just all about you? You know?
Well, again, I'll say that I have the uncanny ability of being myself 24/7, right? Like I'm not
Yes.
putting on a show for nobody, man. It's an open door, man.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
makes it
cool.
unique. Other than that, like I'm not providing a service that no one else is providing, right?
No. 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 No.
So, but I offer an opportunity for somebody to come here and talk to me, meet with me. Ideally, I see it as an opportunity for people to communicate with somebody that maybe they haven't has
Yeah.
a different have a different thought process.
Perspective on stuff
That's
and whatnot.
look, that's really different than my yo. You want to come into my my stream and talk politics and religion and philosophy and shit? You're all like you're in there.
Yeah.
Just don't get offended at some shit that I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Like,
man.
right? Like
But you'll know.
that's
It's just
that's
people
ultimately
just
at the end
vibe
of the
with you
day.
or they don't. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
you can't really. I just say you gotta be yourself. You gotta be unique. You gotta be who you want to be in your channel because like you're not gonna please everybody at all
No.
by any means. That can't be the goal of this. You know what I mean? But you are gonna make some people happy. You are gonna bring some people to the table, and that's yeah. I get what you're saying with that, man.
No,
That's
and
cool.
at the end of the day, I can't be the only buddy. I can't be the only person out there that's missing the socialization that once was there,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
And
That's
I know things are opening up more and more, but again, right, like my ass is still isolated, right?
Yeah. Well, it all depends too, and it's like, are things getting better? Are things getting worse? Like, are we still going to be stuck in this? People are saying that this is going to go through 2022, which I will not be a happy man if that's the case. And I'm hoping for this to end at the end of the summer, but I think we just got to deal with it how we can, and I think just
Yeah,
streaming
I
is a
think
great way to deal with it.
yeah, I mean, again, I think this is more. You've seen this surge in these trends, right? Like as things happen, right? Like things trend up. Like right now, or as COVID started, right? Like everybody became a gamer, right?
Yeah.
Then everybody became a streamer, right? What's going to wind up happening is, like you have people that drop off, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, shit. In the 1 year that I've been streaming, I know so many people that have started and stopped,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
right?
then started back
But
up. And a lot of
oh,
people do
sure,
that.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right, right, or start back up, or they change their whole situation, and then again,
Mm-hmm.
that's where that sort of idea of like, why are you streaming
Yeah.
comes in, right?
Yeah.
If you're streaming for this full time content creator idea, you probably have a whole lot of different things going on, right? Like you're literally probably spending your
You
day
better be, or you're not
creating
making any money.
content,
Yeah, you gotta
right?
be
Absolutely,
on the video programs 24/7. You've got to be social media 24/7. You've got to be on your Twitch channel every day for a lot of hours. And when you're not on your Twitch channel, you're creating content. I mean, and
absolutely,
even then, it's just such a struggle to make content that people want to watch. You know what I mean, and want to interact with. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
anyway,
So
sorry.
again, right? There's no again. So there's got to be a place for people to come and chill,
Hmm. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so I provide that. I think I provide an opportunity for somebody to come in, have a laid back, connection with somebody,
yeah.
and then again, I think there is something to meeting people in the chat room too, right? Like I've met
Hmm.
people in somebody else's streamer's chat room that I eventually wind up having some sort of connection with,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
And again, I think streaming in a lot of ways, especially for small streamers, we kind of run in circles, right? Like everybody has their own little circles.
Yeah.
Like I know you through this guy, and I know you through this guy, and then if you meet enough people, like sometimes you'll find that like random person, like through the chat, that's like, wait, how
Oh
you're in this
yeah.
person's circle and you're in this person's circle, and there was
Oh
like no
yeah.
connection, or
I've
those
there's
are the kind of cool things, right? Like that's where like the virtual life of
hmm
Twitch very much is starting to like mimic
mimic.
the real
Yeah.
life out there, right?
Dude, I feel
Because
that
that same shit will
100%.
happen when you're out there, right? Like you'll be talking to somebody at work and be like, "Wait, like what? Your girlfriend's cousin's boyfriend's uncle knows my,
Yeah. Yeah.
dad's biking
Build those
buddies,
connections.
yeah, pet walker. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
like,
dude. Dude, that's
and they're
totally
married. Like
true.
what the fuck?
Like, I had no idea that person even was
Yeah.
married. It's funny how that works, and like I find myself doing that now too, where I'm just in someone's stream. I like to lurk in people's streams during the day when I'm just have nothing else going on. I'll check out a new streamer, this or that. I mean, I'm always constantly looking for connections, especially since Chatterday is going. I'm always looking for people to be on Chatterday, and yeah, I'll have it. Someone will start talking. I'm like, oh shit, I know you from someone else's channel. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Like, and I don't know what these little circles are about, but like, yeah, they definitely exist, and they're definitely like, I don't know. I feel like that. If you know this circle of streamers, and they know this circle of streamers, and it just all kind of comes together at the end of the day. It's pretty cool. It's a really cool thing.
Streaming also offers like it's kind of a layered relationship too. Like everything kind of comes out slowly, right? Like you don't just
Yeah,
like you don't just like bust into some streamers thinking like what's your name, where are you from, where are you born, right? Like I mean, some of that shit's
yeah,
already in your bio and stuff,
yeah,
but there's kind of this idea where like you slowly create a connection with the streamer, right? Like over like days of them streaming,
yeah,
or vice versa, right? Like if you're you're the audience of a streamer and you're chatting with somebody, right? Like the same
yeah.
kind of thing, right? Like
So there's like a dance to it. You don't want to go in and just be like over saturate them with questions and like,
sure. I mean, I'm like, bro, I'm sure some people do that shit.
oh, dude, I get it 100%. And usually it's like little kids who have no idea what they're doing. They're just like,
Right.
hey, what's up? How's it going? What can I do? Can I
Yeah,
come play with you? It's like, whoa,
look,
slow down.
there's I'm sure there's girl
Thank
gamers
you,
out
Juno.
there that get the all sorts of questions, but
Yeah. Wait,
but
Juno? Why did you ban Goss?
Are we banning motherfuckers? Was he talking
Yeah,
shit?
no,
Was he talking shit?
Ghost was doing good, but Juno banned him instead of the bot that came in my channel. Pending it removed. Okay, Goss can come back. That's so funny, man. Anyways, I think Goss was one of those people who, for me, that just the type of people we're talking about. Like, I was in someone's channel and then I saw him and then I was like, oh no, man, I ran you on Twitter. Like, he's someone I saw on Twitter, and then it's like, it's weird how that works too. How like you'll see someone outside of this Twitch realm and like Twitter, or some other social media, and then all of a sudden they'll be like in your Twitter, Twitch feed at that time. You're like, what is going on, dude? Like, how does this work?
Well, the Twitter world too is kind of crazy. Like, I was
Oh
never
yeah,
a big part of it until I switched over to Twitch, and that was kind of that was like the one social media outlet that I had created that I
yeah,
hadn't, used at all.
yeah.
So it was super easy for me to separate like my personal social media and then my gaming social
Gaming,
media,
yeah,
so to say,
absolutely.
right? But now that I've jumped into Twitter, like one of the things I've realized, right, like this whole idea of, right, you were talking about being unique, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you go to most people's page and it's all video gaming, right?
Yeah,
Video gaming, video gaming, video gaming. And like I tried, bro. I tried my hardest not to hit follow on certain people, and I even went back and
yeah,
unfollowed a bunch of my shit,
yeah,
right? But like now you go on there and again I just cannot avoid some of the like, social justice, political, and then like
oh
the
yeah.
sports stuff, right? It just like bleeds in. Like
It's
I'm
everywhere.
because I'm about sports, I'm about social justice, and so that stuff starts bleeding into my
Yep,
Twitter too.
yep. They always do.
And so like so you go into, something like my Twitter, and again you'll see like some random shit about Dead by Daylight or COD, and then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden you'll see some like random Black Lives Matter, or like, like, and again, that's
Dude, for
because
real.
as much as I would want to like put on a facade,
Yeah,
it's impossible for me. It's like I can't even.
yeah. Well,
It's
and
like it eventually bleeds out, right?
Twitter also does the algorithm thing where it's like, oh, you flash by one thing you're interested in and just dumps more of that into your feed, and
Oh,
then it's like,
it's like
dude, if you've been
recorded.
liking someone's stuff, it'll show up more often in your feed, stuff like that. So
It's like, wait, why are all these Ariana Grande videos popping up?
yeah, what? Just because I slow down every time I see Ariana Grande in my feed doesn't mean you have to keep feeding me things about Ariana Grande, dude. That's exactly how Twitter works. If you just stop and pause to look at something, Twitter will throw something at you that's like the same thing, and then you're just all of a sudden you're like down this rabbit hole of Twitter, dude. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
let's hit the list of questions again. So, what are your channel points like? Like, do you have any unique channel points or fun channel points that you use on your stream to like get people?
Yeah, the two I'm most famous for are busting out the belt.
Okay.
I have a championship belt that I
Okay.
swing.
Do you have it nearby?
Oh my goodness! If you gave me 2 seconds, I bet you I could grab it.
I'll give you 2 seconds. That's all right. I'll give shout outs here real quick, dude. Jess, shout out to you, dropping in the stream. How you doing? Thanks for coming by. Frog, dude, just Frog's like get the flute. Is the flute one of his actual channel point redemptions? I would be very surprised. Juno, I'm gonna rewind and just say, why would you do that? Why would you ban Gost? He's such a good guy. I can't believe it. And if y'all want to know what I'm talking about, you should be here while I'm doing this. Although, I feel like maybe I should be more consistent with my times, and that may be my fault. But I'm glad for everyone that's in the chat right now, hanging out, having a good time. So, um, yeah, we got some topics coming up here real quick. I did not plan on Ichabod being gone this long. This feels really unnatural. Oh, thank you so much. We got something we can do. So we're gonna do pick a card. On my channel, I usually do pick a card.
I think the world's just gonna have to be disappointed, man.
Oh man, I was
I'm
kind of getting
sorry.
worried you got lost, man. I was like, did he go
Well,
take a quick
no, I just
little
realized
bathroom break there or
that
something?
my little area where I pack up my streaming stuff has been messed with too. So,
Oh, I
well,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
all
then of
right.
course
It's all right.
I always play the flute with it, which is a code for
Yeah. For eight of
using.
spades. Ooh, four of spades. Nice try. We got to pick a card. It was someone redeemed some channel points in my thing
Well,
while you
see,
were
there you
gone to
go.
kind of fill some
There you
time. And
go.
so, anyways, it's all good. We got a Frogger. Sorry about that. Four away. Exactly. That's the way. Next time you'll get it. So, and then we were just talking about, Frog said the flute. So it's obviously a very
Yes,
popular one, playing the
my
flute.
water flute, yes. Basically code for a water pipe, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, dude, that's all right though. That's really funny. It's cool that you can kind of merge that in there as well, because why not? Why not at all?
Absolutely.
Um,
It adds to me being laid back.
I mean, yeah. What else are you gonna do with that? So, what do you think one of your greatest successes as a streamer so far has been?
Oh, so being involved with a charity stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think at the end of the day, making connections like that is the most important thing for me. So I got involved with another streamer, Notch Her,
Yeah.
that was able to put on a charity, like a 24-hour stream for the Trevor
Okay.
Project,
Okay.
which is a nonprofit organization that helps LGBT youth.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow,
And
cool.
so they're right, primarily looking out for LGBT youth, teenage like suicide. Right, they're doing like suicide awareness and suicide prevention. And so I would say, being able to be part of that, and we raised a couple $1,000s for them. So that's what I'm most proud of. That's what I think I'm most successful of. Because again, I'm going to go back. At the end of the day, this isn't really about me becoming a full-time streamer or like making some sort of price point on my own.
No,
So
just
right, like
giving back with what you're doing. You know what I mean?
yeah, actually being able to like make these connections worth a damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So again, right, like I can make them personally worth a damn by like
Mm-hmm.
again, creating buddies or having gaming friends. But then
Mm-hmm.
when we can actually make these relationships build into something that gives back to the
Yeah.
bigger picture, right, to the to the community, then that's what means more, right? And I think again, none of the people involved in that were like huge streamers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily about self promotion or anything like
No,
that too.
it's more about
So
just doing what you can with what you're given at the time. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing. I mean, I've seen a lot of really small streamers raise, a couple $100 for a charity. Like Staff Dog not long ago did for the Wounded Warrior Project. He did a big one. I think it was a 24-hour, and so. And he only raised like it was a little under $200, but his goal wasn't out there. You don't need to make goals that are crazy out there. You just need to just put yourself out there and hope you make something for these charities. I mean, charity streams are a little. So here's my deal with charity streams. I kind of feel like sometimes they are almost always really good, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But sometimes I feel like I would go to a charity stream and it's really all about the streamer. You know what I mean? And
sure,
it's like, okay, are
sure,
you running
sure.
this charity stream so that you can say it's a charity stream and then gain more popularity off of that because look at me, I'm good, or are you actually legitimately doing this because it's something that you care about? And you can kind of get that vibe right away as to
Sure. I think that's a possibility for like almost any type of promotion, right? Like
yeah.
there's always going to be somebody that has a self-serving agenda.
Is this guy just doing this so that he can get an extra revenue boost and then you know what I
Sure.
mean, like you know what I
Sure.
mean? So I don't know. Sometimes I have a
At
hard
the
time with it.
at the end of the day, if they're raising money for charity, though, that charity
If
don't give
it
a
if it goes to
fuck.
the charity, then yes, that
Well,
is
the charity
awesome.
don't care, right? And so
Yeah.
then that's for
Exactly.
the audience to discern, whether they want to continue watching
Yeah.
somebody like that.
No,
But
that's true. That's very true.
but also, to that extent, right? But I think that also kind of like that if we've gotten to that point to where we have people like using charity streams to try to legitimize their like streaming,
Yeah.
then we've gotten to a point to where streaming is legitimate, right?
I
Right,
guess you
and
could make that
so
conclusion. You could
because
draw that
right,
line there.
like or it's at least as popular as what, like fucking
Yeah.
running, right? Like
Yeah.
remember, like everybody was running for a cause at some fucking point, right?
Five
Shit, people
5K for
still do it.
cancer, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
I
dude.
just saw on the news somebody's doing 31 miles in 31 days for
Something.
for some veteran here in
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah, and
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
right? Like, so again, if people are starting to do that with streaming,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
people are starting to recognize that there's a legitimate,
Value to it.
value
Yeah.
to it, right?
Yeah. No,
And
that's
whether
cool.
it's for the individual to become a, money making content creator,
Yeah.
or if it's just another avenue for a community organizer to organize people.
Yeah. That's true.
Right. And
I mean,
again, and that's where I start like that's how I look at Twitch, right? It doesn't have to just be this I'm a content creator and I'm making money off of this
yeah,
playing video, right?
yeah,
Like like, and that's when we can kind of get into those little debates that are on Twitter, like, well, so and so shouldn't be doing this on Twitter, and like these girls
yeah,
don't need to be doing right. It's like for one, who are you to tell anybody what they should be doing on any
yeah.
medium that you don't own?
Kind of like the body paint streamers, or like the hot tub streamers lately that are coming up. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure, but it's like that's like me going to a public park, going on the basketball court
mm-hmm.
by myself, and then like some kid comes over and he starts like jumping jacks and I tell him he can't do jumping jacks on the basketball court.
Yeah,
But it ain't my park.
yeah. So
You
you
see what I'm
can't be
saying?
telling him what. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, man.
You-
No, that makes perfect
right?
sense. Well, Amazon is getting a little concerned about some of this stuff, and where Twitch is going, because it's being used more and more, less and less for video games, and more as just like a create your own TV show type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are using it just for, like
DIY.
cooking, or yeah, DIY, or this or that. And I guess at the end of the day, as long as these people, Twitch is getting their cut of the money from this. I know I've personally made quite a bit of money for Amazon doing this. You know what I mean? Like at least my fair share of money for them has gone to them because of my channel. And so as long as that keeps happening, they're really gonna like push as much of this to the limit as possible. And who knows what it's gonna turn
Yeah, but
into 10 years from now.
I mean, what are they going to tell people to stop cooking on Twitch?
Oh no, they were very concerned with the TOSA, because DJing was very popular on Twitch, but the TSA and all that, all that bullshit.
Don't get me started. I play music on my shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
because again, at the end of the day, what you're gonna rob me of my like?
They just mute your VOD. That's all they do now.
Right, and you're gonna rob me of my 100 followers or whatever, right? Like, it's gonna like I'm not Harris Heller. I'm not you know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these guys where like. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Like, I want this platform.
Yeah, it's a great platform.
But I'm not using this platform to create some sort of like. So like this revenue, like, I'm in school to be a therapist. That's where my revenue is going to come from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I want my channel to come, and then that's what I don't understand too. They need to figure something out where we can play music on our channels.
Well, their solution was Twitch soundtrack. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But
hi Cal, how you doing? But it's just one of those things where there's no good solution. I think the problem is out of their control, and the problem is the music industry. You know what I mean? The music industry needs to have a 360 on it, to where they're even giving you terms of service warnings on video games that have.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, where you have games like FIFA and 2K that are like,
yeah, you can't even play the sound music on them.
The whole game has music through it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly, and you're not allowed to use any of it for Twitch. None of it.
Right. But I'm allowed to play the video game.
Exactly. Like, I can sit here and play Tony Hawk all day, but once I put that soundtrack
which I don't
on, I'm muted.
I don't have the license for the. That's what I don't get either, right? Like, it's like, what's the difference? And I mean, again, I get the difference, but there's not much difference from me popping in a DVD into my PlayStation and playing that. Right? Now, I get it. That motherfucker says all over it, FBI warning, don't play this shit to nobody, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same concept. But it's the same concept with the video game.
Is
like,
a crime.
I'm broadcasting this video game that I bought without the permission of...
Well, that's the thing, too, is it going to come to that where it's like, oh, man, you're going to have to start buying special editions of video, like streamer edition of video games that cost $150 just to be able to stream it, so you have the license for that. Like, that's the thing, is that the video game industry has grown up so differently than the music industry, where the music industry is so protective over their content, and the video game industry is like, let's get it out. They have the opposite idea. They're like, let's get this content out to as many people as possible through as many platforms as possible. Use all of this content so you, at the end of the day, you come back and you buy this game, or you buy it Sony, and that's what their thought process is. That's what's killing the music industry.
I think we would still buy in, right? Like everybody buys into Pandora or Apple or whatever
Well,
music
music has
service
become
that
a
we.
service. You know what I mean? It used to be a product, and now it's a service, and that's kind of the road they chose to go down. But they never, along the way, stopped to say like, "Hey, this is free promotion." Like video game creators realize the free promotion out of Twitch that they're getting. They realize the value in Twitch, and that when someone goes and watches your game on Twitch or watches their favorite streamer play that game on Twitch, that is of value to that game company because they're going to go out and pay money for that game.
Right,
You know what I mean? And
right.
so, and instead of the music industry thinking, oh well, I'm gonna get more plays. Let's say someone hears their song on their favorite Twitch streamer, and like instead of the mindset of, oh well, this person heard this song on their Twitch streamer, maybe they'll go download it, and I'll or they'll find out their favorite music service. I'll get my couple pennies or whatever they get for that. And then instead of doing that, they're like, no, nobody can listen to this music at all if it's not coming from our original
Which
source.
is which is crazy.
It's
Which is
insane.
crazy
It's
because
insane.
the music industry's changed so much now to where it's not even like this idea, right? Like I almost thought you were gonna say like what they hear the song on somebody's stream and I'm gonna go buy the album. It's
Yeah.
like I haven't bought an
No
album
one
and
does that.
goddamn
No
what
one
the
does that.
fuck is an album, right? Like
But there is value in getting those clicks on Spotify and getting those clicks on Apple Music and
or
stuff like that.
or watching the video, right?
Yeah.
Because the
Oh
money
yeah.
is
On
actually
YouTube.
the
Yeah.
money's actually in me buying a ticket to go see you play,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
right?
like
That's
with
where you're
music,
making
that's where the artist makes their money. So the
hell yeah.
musician will tour with that album, and they make a lot of money doing tours. That's why a lot of like musicians tour so much because that's literally their job is to go play that when they're not creating it, and because that's how they make their money. A lot of the sales and stuff revenue, yeah, sure, they have like a big chunk of royalties, and they do see those checks, they really do. But most of that money actually goes to the
Yeah, their money's
record
coming from the
producers.
ticket sales, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah. So
so
it's just one of those things where I think the music industry still hasn't figured out who they are yet, what the way that they need to be making their
bunch of
money.
fucking pimps, Dave. That's who they
Yeah, dude, I'll
are.
tell you what, the music industry really is in trouble right now. They're making things worse for themselves by going after every YouTube video, by going after every Twitch video, by going after anybody who uses their content without paying them money. I think that there's an inherent value in letting content creators use your content for their creations, and I think that they just don't see that value. They just see the dollar signs, the dollars that they could be losing by someone using that song without paying them to use it. They're like, oh well, if he's not paying the $150 for the song, then he's not allowed to use it. And so instead of thinking on the, they're thinking back end instead of front end, where the front end would be like, well, they heard our music on the streamer, and now we're going to get sales on the front end of this. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't.
Right.
It's just so crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand that mindset. And I love that video games have been this haven of, hey, like, use our content, show people our content, like, create things with our content, and build a community around our content. Like, I don't think you'd see like Overwatch or Siege or Valorant. Any of those games would just be nothing right now if it wasn't for streaming and people going and watching streamers on a professional level play those games, or a non-professional level. So, and
You can
then,
say that about a lot of games nowadays too,
oh yeah,
right?
100%. I mean, look at the campaign that Outriders just came out with. That was just like the amount of people playing that on Twitch, and the amount of people that Square Enix probably paid to have them play on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like, and free copies of that game that they gave away to play on Twitch, so that other people would see this and buy that. And
No, I
they
mean
see the value in that. I mean, you get to a
sure.
point where you're not even paying for those games.
I mean, we play Dead by Daylight, right?
Yeah.
Like they have a whole gang of Dead by Daylight testers that they know are going out and testing their. They're not only testing their game for them, they're doing it live on Twitch.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Which is building the hype for, the Trickster.
Yeah.
Or the Resident Evil or the right, and it's like,
dude, that Resident Evil, I can't wait. That's such cool news. I want to see who's your pick on who it's going to be.
So I feel like I have some inside, right? Like I think they already said who the survivor is going to be.
Who?
It's going to be the protagonist from this most recent Resident Evil that just came out.
Oh, really?
And then they haven't said who this is. I was talking to Mediocre yesterday about it. He was saying that it's going to be the protagonist. I don't know their name. I can't.
Interesting.
He said it
from Resident Evil 8 or 7.
From the most recent one that just came out.
Dude,
and then
Who do
I
you
keep
think is
saying
gonna
I'd
win?
love the enemy to be like the original, like Titan alien thing from the original Resident Evil, right? Like the big alien in the tube that they were building or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Well, didn't that just turn out to be Nemesis, or was that
Yeah,
like a?
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was Nemesis.
It would
They,
just be cool to maybe see like if they could. But that's also the thing about DVDs. Like every killer that I've come up with, I can already like. But that's just this killer already. Like I was
I,
gonna say like the dogs maybe, but like then it'd be like the
no,
Demogorgon.
someone said the liquor would be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty dope. I honestly, you know who best bet? My best bet on who it's gonna be is the dad from Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
Like the kind of, you know, that fucked up family in that house. Like the first guy that you come across is like kind of like
Right.
the
But it's almost kind of like a Billy then, isn't he?
a little bit, yeah. He'd be like a
Right.
Billy, but
In
he
that
wouldn't have
big
a
like.
chainsaw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd be, yeah. They could do some. That's who I think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna use anybody like Nemesis or any of their like main bad guys. I think they're gonna like shoot from left field. Either that, or I'm thinking like, what's it? Project the guy from Resident Evil 2 that follows you around with the black hat. Who's that?
Okay. I
I
don't know
can't
the
remember. I
names. I
can't
don't
remember
know
the
the
name of
names.
him.
I know. Even I was gonna say like for the Survivor, I was gonna say like I know Mia Jovovich's name right
Yeah.
from the movie, right?
Alice
Like
or
put her,
whatever. I think it's Alice. Is her name. I was
would
thinking
gladly put
Leon.
her in the game.
Leon was what is who I was thinking. Leon or Claire. I was thinking Claire would be a really good one. They tend to put like the ladies in that, you know, and so I would say that Claire would probably be a solid get, or Jill, or
Well,
Leon,
yeah,
or Chris.
you get to play with the outfits a little bit more,
Yeah,
right? With the
exactly. Oh
females.
yeah, they have so many outfits, you know. Maybe even go back and do the original like PlayStation 1 outfit, you know what I mean? Just have some fun with it. Like kind of like they did with Resident Evil 2 where you can, or was it 3? No, it was the Resident Evil 2 remake where you could get the costumes that made them look like the PlayStation ones, the original PlayStation ones, dude. I don't know. I love details like that. I think that's so fucking cool. So anyways, we are getting slightly off topic, so let's do this. Do you have anything else to talk about your channel? Anything else you want to promote, or anything else you want to say about yourself before we move on to the next portion of the podcast?
Oh no, not necessarily. Again, I think right now while I'm finishing up school, the main day that you can catch me streaming is Friday nights for sure. Always catch me
Okay.
for Frustration Fridays. I usually try to do another weekend. I would have been streaming tonight if I wasn't doing this
Yeah.
type of thing,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah.
Or and then I usually try to do one or two in the weekdays. I don't have any set schedule nowadays, so
Okay.
please hop over into my Twitch, hit that follow button. You'll get those
Yeah.
notifications when I hop on. I'll definitely be on next Friday celebrating my 1 year. And then
That's
I
awesome,
always do a
dude.
big birthday stream. I'll be doing that in August. So I know that's a little bit down the ways, but
Yeah.
yeah, come check out my stream. Hit follow. You'll get those noties, and just come check me out. Come say hi if you like me.
Yeah,
Stick
dude.
around and
Who
come back.
who wouldn't like you? And as always, like you'll if you are listening to this via podcast or YouTube, his link will be in the description, so you're able to click on that, everyone, and go check him
Yeah,
out throughout the
absolutely.
week. Give that guy some follows. I know that the listening base for this isn't huge yet, but we got to act like it is. So so we'll throw that out there. I like to pretend like I'm a bigger deal than I am. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm one of those things where like, yeah, I know that maybe like you're not going to get a huge amount of listens on this. I mean, like last week I think I got on SoundCloud alone I got 15 listens to it, and
We'll
most of
see.
them listened through most of it. So
We'll see. You got. They used like people are straying away from the term "fake it till you make it" nowadays, but right, people say like they still say dress up for the job that you want.
dude,
There,
I
right?
think fake it
So
till you make it is actually super. It's still very applicable today. I think
I
if
feel like
you
people just like decide to change the definitions of sayings all the time. I'm like, what? Like that don't mean that. And then
yeah,
well, no, fake it till you make it means you like
you gotta
you
act
bullshit
like it.
around. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, you
no,
act no.
no, that's not what it's about.
It's like you put on a suit when you're around people with suits. Like
You gotta
you don't
act like
show
you're a
up in a
big
wife
deal,
beater.
or yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta act professional even though
Yeah.
you're not professional. I mean, I love it when I go into people's streams and I see, like, you know, they're just a small streamer. They have like 5 people watching them, but their stream looks like they should have like 30 people watching them. You know what I
Hey
mean? Like,
man.
dude, that's how
Yo,
you do it. That's how you do it. I had
but
a guy on here, Don Charlie, who's that way, dude. Like, and he's starting to get a following because of just how professional his channel is. It's really cool to see.
No, absolutely. No.
Well, he's a badass dude. But
I think that's where, kind of we go back talking about, like, that idea, why do you stream, right? And if what you're streaming for is because you want to be a content creator, or you want to be, noticed because of your production value, or you want to be noticed, then that's the stuff that you do, right?
Yeah. And
that's the stuff you'll ultimately get noticed for if you keep grinding.
And just
right?
fake it, man. And this isn't even a real podcast, you know what I mean? It's not real. It's just, I mean, I'm just faking it, man. But I love it. I love to pretend like I have a podcast that matters, you know what I mean? But
well, look, at the end of the day, just like this is practice for me doing teletherapy later on.
Yep.
This is practice for you doing anything later on where you're publicly speaking, when you're doing actual radio, if you're doing television, or for any job you ever have interacting with people, man.
Well, I've noticed that in particular, like, especially in my first few episodes, I was doing and ums a lot, and that's one thing that I've really been working on, is like to eliminate those like and ums and filler words, so that I'm actually speaking and sounding intelligent and not just sitting here trying to sound like I'm constantly trying to stumble over words and find the next thing to say. Because, like, at the end of the day, especially with not radio, but with podcasting, it's about filling that space with, you don't want any dead air. You don't want people to be sitting there on the radio and like just hearing silence for like 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, then they're going to start tapping their radio, wondering what's going on. Like, I think that's the difficult thing with podcasts is you've got to be constantly talking and communicating, and because they can't see you, they can't see what you're doing. So at the end of the day, they can only listen to what you're saying, and if there's nothing there, there's nothing there.
And like, Dave, there's the people that want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And then there's people that go out there and fucking do it, man.
Well, it's not that hard. You just got to post it. You just got to figure out how to post it.
Sure, absolutely.
And you got a podcast. Look, anyone could do it.
This is my profession. Look, people are frozen in fear by either failure or, rejection, things they make up in their mind, right? Or like things that you can come to terms with before it happens.
Yeah.
You still won't go like with this idea of like, hey, I don't want to do a podcast because no one will listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you work on coming to terms with the fact that nobody's going to listen to you, and then do a podcast? You see what I'm saying? Because if that's what's keeping you from doing the podcast, then just come to terms with the fact that like, and I'm not saying that'll happen overnight, right? No. But I'm saying, but then you seem like start working on whatever it is that is happening with you because if you really want to do a podcast, right, and your fear's keeping you, my guess is that your fear's keeping you from doing other shit too.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And usually that's where, like, not to get too serious here, but like that's usually where that fear stops you from like going to go get like a job.
Yeah.
Asking that girl or guy, hello, how are you doing? Do you want to go out on a date? Right? Like asking your friend for a favor, or like asking your parents if it's okay to like do that, right? Like you start limiting your choices.
Well, I think that we're living in a time right now where that's all kind of amplified as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because we're so used to being in our own little bubbles and being secluded, for over this past year, that it's like...
It's not healthy, though.
Yeah, no. And they're finding it's worse, especially in kids and stuff. I could go on for hours, but I think we should reel it back, dial it back, and we're going to start getting into topics because... depression and stuff like that. That's a whole other podcast. I do.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I could go on forever. Absolutely. I mean, again, that's why I'm going into therapy, right? Is because again, these like, and that's cool, at the end of the day, I can almost turn any conversation back to like why the world needs like therapists and why we all need like more access to mental health.
Dude, that's awesome, and I think that's a very noble thing, and I'm glad that you're super into it, and that's one of those things that you actually, it seems like you bring that into your stream as well to kind of give it that uniqueness from what we've talked about. So that's
right.
Very cool, man. Yeah. Dude, it's hella cool.
Yeah. So. If you feel like you're going crazy a little bit, right? I can't offer you professional help just yet, but
he can. He'll talk to you. He'll definitely talk.
Yeah, but y'all can come into my stream, and I'm gonna try to proverbially walk you off the ledge. Yeah, man.
All right. Well. Speaking of walking off a ledge, let's walk off this ledge and start talking about topics. First off, we've got from SVG Games, PlayStation fans revolt. Their true feelings about May PlayStation Plus games. So yeah, this is kind of one I'll put it up in the chat for those of you who want to follow along. I'll read a little bit of this and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
I feel like gaming critics are picky, man.
Well, so here's the deal. I have a big beef with this, and I'm going to read a little bit of this, and then we'll get into why specifically I chose this, because I saw this article earlier in the week, and I just started. I honestly got mad. I got fucking livid, and we'll get into this right now. So, May has nearly arrived, and it's and if you're subscribing to the gaming services, it means one thing: a new selection of free games. This is typically an extra monthly turnover for gamers as they prepare for the brand new titles to play. Unfortunately, not every month is going to give you a winner. It looks like May is set to be a bit disappointing for PlayStation Plus subscribers. Over on the PlayStation blog, the next batch of games that were revealed to be for PlayStation Plus service next month are Wreckfest, Drive Hard, Die Last, Battlefield 5, and Stranded Deep. The post also warned subscribers that on May 3rd, April's selections, Oddworld, Days Gone, and Zombie Army 3 will be going away. The important question is, what are fans on the internet saying about the upcoming PlayStation Plus slate? On Twitter, responses have not been overwhelmingly positive. And sorry, dude, my contacts are like blurring in and out. I need new contacts, so it's making it kind of weird for me to read this, but we're pushing forward. In a consensus tweet, one person simply wrote garbage, and another user had little more to say than calling it a slap in the face. The gamers felt that Sony is double dipping with its services, offering same titles, Wreckfest and Stranded Deep, on both PlayStation Now and PS Plus, and they expressed that the feeling of Sony services is lacking when compared to the Xbox Games Pass. So there's a little more here. You can go read it, but apparently I'm struggling to read right now, so we'll just stop right there. Here is my problem, and this is where I'm going to go into a rant right now because I really wanted to go on a rant about this. Shut the fuck up. You are getting free games, okay? Just stop right there. I want every one of you who looked at this lineup for PlayStation Plus for May and said, oh my god, garbage games, I want you to just quit gaming right now, okay? Because there's two problems I have with you. Two very distinct problems. First off, you're getting these for free. It's free games. Play it or not. Put it on your console. Maybe a friend of yours will be playing Wreckfest. Find out it's an awesome game. Get it in your library. It's a free game for the service. B, how do you know these are garbage games? Go out and play these games. Go have fun with these games. Don't just sit there and bitch because you've never heard of these games. Maybe that's actually a blessing in disguise because you get to play a new slate of games you've never played before. How do you know Wreckfest isn't your new favorite racing game? You fucking don't. You do not know this because you've never played it. You are just bitching. And it really pisses me off when someone is giving you these things for free. You do not. The PlayStation Plus service is given to you to maintain servers and maintain what they're doing, the basic services. They are giving you these games as a bonus. And people are taking this and just like saying, no, it's my right to these games now. And that's what is truly bugging me about it. Is it's like, dude, they used to not give you the games. Yeah, then just don't take the games this month. Why do you feel entitled to these games anyways? You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to me. If you were to stop paying for PlayStation Plus, you wouldn't have access to any of these games. So stop bitching. Stop bitching. Stop. Okay.
Some of those games are actually pretty, what the fuck is the problem with Battlefield 5?
Is a great game. I think it's just an older game.
It's an older game, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, so what game do they want?
They want the last month.
They want Cyberpunk or whatever. It's like they want.
They should. They should be giving that game away.
What do they want? And that's what I don't get. Like, the games that they'll say that they want, we already fucking own because we bought those sons of bitches. You see what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
You can't. And the reason why they give away stuff like Last of Us Remastered and stuff are for the people like me who don't usually play those games, no matter
Yeah.
So now it's an opportunity for me to say, hey, look, this game got Game of the Year multiple times, right? Or
Yeah.
like we've remastered it. There's a part 2. Go back and play it, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Well, and if you look this, if you want to get into problematic, Days Gone, if you have a PlayStation 5, they give you that game, and that was one of last month's games on PlayStation Plus too. So I don't understand like where they're getting so upset with the double
I
dipping
never
this and
would have
that
played.
and
I never would have played what is that, Subnautica?
Subnautica. Yeah,
That was free on the. I would have never played that
yeah.
game. Never played. I've seen people stream it, and I was like, "This looks weird."
I honestly Dead by Daylight when that came up on PlayStation for PS Plus, I just added it to my cart, didn't think about it.
Yeah,
Two
same, bro.
fucking years later, I loaded it on there, and it's my
No,
favorite game right now.
exactly the same. I loaded it up. I think I got Dwight to like level 15,
Hmm.
and was like, "No, I can't do this."
Yeah.
And then last year, for whatever the 3rd year anniversary, whatever anniversary
Hmm.
was last year,
I think it was
they gave you all
fourth.
those blood points or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe the 4-year anniversary when they gave away all those blood points. I was like, all right, let's do it. And I was able to get Dwight up. Mediocre was playing.
Yeah.
Shortly after, I started meeting people like you and stuff that
Yeah.
like again play the game. And I mean, we can go on and on and on about Dead by Daylight,
Yeah.
but the game's just completely different when
play
you're surviving with
we'll play a
friends.
couple of rounds after
Then
after
then when
this.
you're like playing by like, I mean, again, right? Try to take yourself back to day one. I'm downloading this free game called Dead by Daylight on PlayStation Plus, and I'm gonna learn how to play it all by myself.
Yeah. No.
No.
Well, that game's so complex too. You've got to know what you're doing and how to play with people. You can't just go in there blind. I feel like that'd be nuts. So
Yeah. You know, I could like, I'm supposed to be writing my thesis next time. I could write a thesis on Dead by Daylight, bro. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, there's
that game is so complex but so fun. You know, at the end of the day. So, but I think never look a gift horse in the mouth, especially when they give you games like, for example, what's the one that I saw here that I was like, Stranded Deep. That's a game
that's a good game.
Going to be updating, making things for quite a while. So like. You don't know if you're going to be into that game a year from now. You know, if your friend says, "Hey, let's throw this game in and have fun," you know what I mean? Or even
most of like my gamer friends like that game.
Yeah, so I don't.
You know, it's like a survival game, right?
I'm sorry, it's a survival game. It's kind of like
what the fuck is people about?
What's the other?
Oh, but they want Minecraft for free though.
Well, think of it this way though. Last month they gave you Oddworld Soulstorm, brand new game that just came out that month, and they just gave it to you. Or like Fall Guys, let's say something like that, where they give it to you right away when it comes out. They do that every once in a while, but instead of thinking like I deserve that every time, you need to think, oh, this is a great treat for this month that I'm getting a new game for free out of this. Like, you're not going to get bangers every single time. That's just not how it is. But
they don't play the games anyway. Like, you know,
none of those people commenting.
I think the people that complain about these games are the people that are like main gamers, anyways, right? Like, they always play World of Warcraft, or they always play COD, or they always. So it's like, you're not gonna be breaking off these games anyway.
No, you're not gonna quit doing what you're doing and going.
The actual variety gamers love stuff like that because they'll pop them in.
Yep.
And they'll be like, "Oh, I dig this," or they'll be like, "Fuck it, I hate it."
The thing that's great about stuff like this too is that you can use it with your community. Be like, oh my, because like I know inherently like a lot of people on PlayStation that follow me are on PlayStation or play with me on PlayStation, and it's like, well, if they're giving you these free games, it's like, well, join me in these games. Now you have something to bring your community in because it is free. And I've been that's something that's funny that you bring that up, because I've been thinking about doing, because I know Epic gives you free games constantly. They're giving you a free game every week. And I've been thinking about having a weekly like Epic's free game stream where I just play and then I can just be like, yeah, if you like this, go play it yourself, man. Like watch me play it for a while, and then maybe go grab it for yourself and have some fun. And then maybe you can, some of those games are multiplayer, you can build some things out of it. I don't know, but I really do think that take advantage of these free games, like at the end of the day, because like garbage or not, load them in there. If it's a free game, it's a free game. You should be looking at your Epic store.
I put them all in my library, or set them to whatever, right, to where you can download them later.
Dude, you might as well. There's no reason not to. I do every single game. It's rare that I look at a game and go, I'm just gonna pass on that.
And again, anybody who's a gaming critic has got to be a gamer, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
100%.
like, I'm just like, I consider myself a gamer, and I'm not really that big of a gamer. Like, I have other things going on in my life to where I can't dedicate my whole life. And let's be honest, how how backlogged are you on games that you?
Oh God, dude, I don't
Right?
even want to tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
literally, that's first thing whenever I think about buying a new game. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is my backlog.
so don't talk to me about a new like. Oh,
Listen,
I don't need a man. I have games that I haven't even like opened the
opened.
wrapper,
Neo
bro.
2 is sitting in my closet. I've got Watch Dogs sitting in my closet unopened. I've got
I
Assassin's Creed Valhalla sitting in my thing
yeah.
unopened. I'm sitting here playing Returnal. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, David?
So yeah, so we complaining about more for it's like man,
Yeah,
I don't even have time. I don't even have time to play.
games that I purchase, let alone
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Oh God,
so yeah,
dude, I'm with you.
I totally 100% agree with you.
All right,
It's
I'm glad that we're like minds with that. All right, let's move on. Let's do one more time. I think we have about enough time. We're at about the hour mark right now. I don't like to go too far past that, but so let's pick out one more article and then we'll probably end this. So, would you rather talk about the Atari VCS or how Resident Evil could have skipped a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One altogether? What sounds more interesting to you?
I mean, I feel like the Resident Evil is the more relevant topic, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm more interested in Atari.
Okay.
So
Okay, dude. Like I said, this is about you. So let's we'll go with the Atari VCS article. Let me post this in the chat so y'all
yeah,
can follow along.
I know I know
Well, Returnal.
the skin doesn't show it, but I'm an old school guy, so
I
I
love
played
it.
on the original Atari.
Oh, dude, that is old school. That's like original OG gaming right there. I think I started on the original Nintendo, so I'm kind of with you on that old school. So here we go. In 2021, and I'm not playing on. Let's see. It's 2021, and I'm not playing on the Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch. Instead, I'm playing Atari. This is an old Atari 2600 previously collecting dust in the closet, or an emulator I found online. It is a fresh home video game console from Atari. Having spent some time playing the Atari VCS, it's easy to get tampered by the nostalgia feeling of popping up in my Asteroids or Missile Command cartridges. However, the VCS delivers plenty of modern touches such as wireless, rechargeable controllers, and Wi-Fi support for downloadable games. The Atari VCS is available for pre-order for $3.99 and includes the console, a wireless modern controller, and a wireless joystick classic. So, yeah, basically, where's the interesting thing that I saw? Controllers 21st century, for use something more
There's a
modern.
second button.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the joystick looks pretty cool. Let me see. Yeah, it's got like a shoulder button on it. It's really weird. Let me see here. The game is clearly for an
You
arcade
can
style
download other
vibe.
apps.
Yeah, you can download. So here it is. This is what I was reading. As for the games, Atari VCS is clearly going for an arcade-style vibe with its collection. The device itself comes preloaded with a variety of classic Atari titles, including Asteroid, Centipede, Missile Commander, Millipede, and Pong. But these are also some other interesting downloadable games available, including arcade outer space
Okay.
themed shooter Gun Tech. And the VCS gets interesting. You can also download other apps such as Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube, and the console is available in a PC mode, so owners are able to install their own operating system into the device and use it as a mini PC. And that's the ticket right there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know how powerful this thing is. I don't know what's up with it, but I think it's pretty interesting. Let's go to YouTube and see if they've got
So
a
why
video.
would you buy the Atari and install your own operating system instead of just trying to figure out
Just
how
buying a
to
computer for $500. It's probably more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if they have like a
like
promo
couldn't
for it.
well
I've
I
heard.
do like I like the nostalgia idea, right? Like
Do
I
you want to
dig
see a
all
little
those like
video? I've got a
I
video
dig all
here.
those like little mini like NESs and the
Yeah,
mini SNESs that they sell.
I don't know. Here's a little video
Stop
to kind
taking your
of go
generic
with it if you're
multivitamin.
watching the
I'm gonna fill
stream.
you in on a little not
I've
so
almost
secret secret. Most
purchased
multivitamins just flat out don't work.
Atari on.
those little
More than 40 years ago,
joysticks
Atari opened a portal into our living rooms with the
that have all
Atari
the games
2600.
preloaded on them.
Yeah, I've
Now,
seen those.
we're ready to reopen that portal and introduce a brand new Atari product, inspired by the past, but created, designed, and engineered for today. Introducing
Shit looks
the
fly.
Atari
Look at that wood
VCS.
grain, baby.
The 2600
I
was
think
just
they have
this
black
meteor
and
from
wood
another
grain.
planet. It
They have two
crashed
different
here and
ones.
kicked off the evolution of
Why
the
would you
gaming life
choose
as we know it.
anything
Not
other
only
than
was
wood
this
grain?
sort of video game
Well, I mean,
console,
like,
but
I
it
think they're
was
kind of like,
turning
you got the
television
nostalgia
into
thing,
a
but
more
then you've also
social
got,
activity.
It was like
you know, the
we
people
were
who do
transported
not
into
like
the
wood
future.
grain.
Something
You
magical
know what I mean?
happening
They're
on
out there.
TV for the first time.
It is
Blasphemy.
pretty exciting to see Atari kind of come back and take what they did well.
Oh, they got
and
Limbo. Did you
reimagine
see
them
that?
for this new generation that are playing games differently, consuming
Oh,
media
look at
differently, having
Oh,
different
4K
social
graphics, bro, on
experiences
Astro.
Astros. Fucking
We
gay,
loved
bro.
about that
Let's
first
go.
simple retro Atari
That's what I want.
experience, the first time we used it.
Yeah, I don't know
Bringing
who
it
this
into
is
a modern
for.
context,
I'm not
which is
gonna
a bit
lie.
more complex.
I
One
really
of the unique
don't.
things about the Atari
Or you can
VCS
get this
is its
Xbox
PC
clicking
architecture and
controller.
Linux operating system. You can play hundreds
So
of
it
classic
runs
Atari
Linux.
games on it, but there's more to it than that. Modern games will be there too, along with social media, streaming video, music, and so much more.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna spend $400, why not buy an Xbox?
Our
You,
mission
you
was
would
to
get
create
way
an
more
iconic
use out of an
and
Xbox
authentic Atari
Series
product.
S.
One that's beautiful
it's
and evokes
$100
emotion,
cheaper.
not just another
Not
box
gonna
But do you
lie.
get
shoved
wood
into your
grain,
TV.
Dave?
The 2600
Yeah,
offers
you
this
could put a
amazing
fucking wood
Atari
grain on
box.
there. Too, dude.
With
Don't
wood
even.
grain,
Don't even.
fins and angles. We look at taking each of those core components.
see, they're
and
talking about the
evolving
wood
for
grain
next
right now.
generation.
Yeah,
Something that
bro,
feels
they-
like it
they know what
felt
the
and
selling
not
point
trying
is.
to look how it looked then.
They're
So with
they're
the
going for
2600, it was a
pure
box
nostalgia with this
ribbing on
bad
the
boy.
surface, and we were looking
Yeah,
at that detail and
I
started
mean-
talking about, well, what if the box was entirely ribs? It's not a box
But again,
with
I-
wide ribs.
I think
it's
that's
actually
the-
constructed from individual fins and layers. We found a way to inlay
That's
real
proof
natural wood product.
of where
It's
we're
a
at
beautiful
in
finish,
at least
but
my
it also
generation,
becomes a
right?
Yeah,
very
Like,
active part of the
nostalgia's
product.
king
The interface
right
runs
now.
through that material.
I feel
Um,
strongly that
yeah, I mean, I was just
this
talking about, you know,
deserves
nowadays
a little more
it's
thought, a little more effort,
you watch like
a little more heart by
TV shows
solving
and stuff
for
or
design
movies and stuff right
intent,
now, and you'll hear a lot of like
manufacturability,
Outcast in the
thermals,
background and the
design
soundtracks and stuff,
Yeah.
and it irks me so
One of the
bad because don't get me wrong,
things
dude,
that
I
was
love
exciting
Outcast.
me
Outcast is
most
like one of my
about it
favorite
was
bands of all
the
time. I
control
love,
system.
dude,
It
Ikiban
seems
3000, bro. It's
sort of
Andre 3000. It's
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
dude, like
I feel that.
I love Outcast.
Thing that I grew up with in my
But
head
like,
was
it irks
instantly
me
the
because
one
I'm
thing
like,
that I was
y'all
super happy
motherfuckers
with.
weren't feeling these motherfuckers when like
Yeah.
I was 11 and 12. Like they
Yeah.
weren't the number one rap, but
Now,
but then again, you know, we're now of that generation and of that age to where like, you know, that nostalgia plays a big part in our lives,
huge
right?
part, yeah. Yeah.
And so it's these like underground kind of nostalgic sounds or memories that people can pull out into now these current things that make 40-year-olds, right, start dishing out that cash, right, to go
yeah.
either watch that show or go get that device that reminds me of the wood grain, you know, 8-bit, 4-bit device that I had.
Do you
right?
think this is going to be successful?
The machine itself?
Yeah.
No. 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 Let's be honest, right? The price point is way too high. Let's
They
be
did-
honest.
Yeah,
Right?
no. You're exactly right. They needed to come out with a price point probably around $199. I would say $199.
And again, when the competition, which again, I think the competition for something like this, even though I think they're trying to take the leap into, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
competing with the Xboxes and the PlayStations,
Yeah.
the real competition is those plug-and-play games that I'm talking about, right? The little joystick that you plug into the
Yeah.
TV, and all of a sudden you have the Street Fighter, or like the SNES or the NES, or I
Dude.
think they have a Atari one, right? That you
They
plug
do.
into
Yeah,
the
they
TV.
do have an old. You could do. I'm sure there's probably like 50 of them out there. You know. What
You
I mean?
know, and you know, I mean, I'm more like when I walk into GameStop now, like I love they have the little stand-up arcade ones, the little mini ones
Yep.
now that they put up on
Like
bikes.
Street
Bro,
Fighters
like,
and stuff. Those are cool.
yeah, and I
how
think
it
those
go.
cost $200-$300. Like,
Yeah,
but you can connect those to a network of games too. So it's like I'd rather get one of those, man.
Yeah, no, I 100% feel you. I just don't know personally who they're selling this to. Are they selling it to like us older people who know about Atari? Are they trying to hit that new, you know, like niche kind of like hipster market with it? Like
There is
it's-
that too, I guess,
just,
right?
But I it's just too expensive for that though too. You know what I mean? Like, so once again, you're getting out of this price point of you needed to come out with a device like this under at least
Yeah,
the
the price
Series
point's
S.
way too high.
You needed to come out at 250 max. Probably 199 would have been the magic number if you could have figured that out. But
Yeah.
And then the other thing that this thing is sorely lacking that they clearly do not have an understanding of is content. You have all that content of old games, yeah, that's cool, but like at the end of the day, if you don't have new fresh content being created for that box, then what's the point? I mean, like, why do you think we're constantly talking about exclusives when we talk about Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation? Why do you think Xbox got so much shit in this last generation for its lack of exclusives? And that's literally, they didn't talk about one exclusive on there, not one. Every single one of those games on that machine, I could go on the internet and find. Easy.
Yeah. And again, at the end of the day, that's why, you know, the reason why we wind up getting a Nintendo Switch in this home, right? Like, we already have a PlayStation. Why do you need a Nintendo?
Yeah.
Mario, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mario
you can't play Mario on PlayStation. And so...
Can't play Zelda on
so
PlayStation.
So whether it be for nostalgia or for the next generation, like my child, right?
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, is for both those.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're trying to do that. They're trying to reach out to too many people with it. It's gonna fail. It's going to fail.
And that's why something like Nintendo seems to be continuing to weather the storm, right? At the big brunt of Sony and Xbox, right? Because at the end of the day, they got Mario, right?
Yep.
And as long as they put out like, and they're not fun. They put out fun games though. They put out fun games.
I think it would have been less surprising to see Sega put out a system than it is to see Atari put out another system. Like, I would have been like, if Sega would have come out and been like, here's the Dreamcast 2 and you get all your Sonic games on here now, like, that would have made way more sense than this. I just don't understand this and who it's for and what they're trying to do with it.
You can play a lot of the Sega games you can play everywhere now though, right?
And well, I mean, like, yes and no. I mean, they have like the Genesis collections and they have their own sort of things, but I think it'd be really cool to like see Sega come out and be like, here's the Dreamcast 2, y'all. Like, here's what the Dreamcast would look like if it were to release 20 years, you know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I was always a Nintendo guy. The first console I bought was a Nintendo. I got it from a pawn shop in Huntsville, Texas. I begged my mother for ever.
I'm sure.
To get it. This is how stingy my mom was about video games. Because that's when video games first came out, right? Like,
did you know those cartridges for those games too were like $40-$50? Like, they were not cheap. I didn't realize that as a kid, but like Nintendo games were expensive.
No, I had I remember the day, like, I had to explain to my mother why a Nintendo. It was a Nintendo. It had the Mario and the Duck Hunt. It had the guns and everything, and they were asking $20 for it. And this is like in 1990. I want to say 1989, 88. And I was like, Mom, you don't understand. Like, $20, we're gonna rob this fool blind. Like, we got to go back and get it. I'll never ask you for money again.
Yeah, dude, that's so funny, dude. That's great. That's great. All right, my man. Well, we're going to have to, I think this is a good place to kind of wrap up our conversation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. We're an article short, but that's okay. So I'm going to go through the outro here, and then, that's it. So I want to thank you for watching this week's episode of Chatterday. Thanks to our guest, Ikiban3000. Tell us when, it sounds like you're going to be streaming next Friday?
Absolutely. Always on Friday nights.
Okay.
I will probably get on Wednesday night this week.
Okay.
Just thinking off the top of my head, the way my school calendar is this week, I'll probably be on Wednesday night and then for sure Friday night.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. So, join him then. If you missed this week's episode, or if you missed some of this episode, you can find it on YouTube. Just search Dave_Loudon. Don't have time to watch the video. That's just fine. Type Chatterday into Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud, and you can listen to it there. Make sure to like and subscribe, whichever service you choose, or leave a little, review. Either one. It's great. I hope you all have an awesome day, and stick around. We may or may not be playing some games after this, so we will see you all next Chatterday. Boom. End of the podcast. Okay. So, yeah, that was it, man. We did it. We're done with it.
Yeah.
We're still live, though. So,
no, that'll work.
Now the question is, honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm so tired.
If you need to crash, man, you crash.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go crash.
I'm not gonna twist your arm to play games.
Yeah, I need to go get some sleep tonight. I'm super tired, and I don't think I have it in me to play any Dead by Daylight right now. Like I said, I've been digging holes all day. Goddamn
No worries,
cyber
my man.
streaks. So
I appreciate you switching the time, doing it a late night for me.
no, dude. And I try to be like anyone who's out there right now in the chat. If you want to be on Chatterday, reach out to me. I'm pretty flexible about my times as long as it gets out on the podcast tomorrow. That's all I really care about. And so I'll probably make the VOD tomorrow while my kid is napping, and then get it out on SoundCloud and Apple. So it's pretty cool. So all right, man. Well, I guess that's it. I'm gonna end my stream here, y'all.